Welcome to Animori. Today we will explain a fantasy action anime called The Greatest Demon Lord is Reborn as a typical nobody. Warning, this video contains spoilers. Enjoy! With the rise of the isekai genre, more and more stories about heroes who come back to life in another world have been published. But the new light series, The Greatest Demon Lord is Reborn as a normal human, is a normal human. No one is here to give the trope a new twist. The Demon Lord Varvatos is the main character in our story. He is the most powerful person in the world, but finds his life dull. As Demon Lord, he had no friends, and people feared him. One day, he decides to use magic to come back to life as a normal human. In the present, Varvatos' new life as Ard Mentor, born to a couple of ordinary people, is 10 years old. In those times, people didn't study magic as much as they used to. On the other hand, his body is very athletic, which gives him good strength and psychic abilities. When his parents ask him what he wants to do with his life, Ard thinks he wants to be friends with someone on an equal level. As Ard yells at the monsters in the forest, he hears the voice of a little girl who is in trouble. When Ard flies to the place where he hears the voice, he sees a young elf girl fighting an ancient wolf. When Ard looked at her, Ard thought the girl was angry at the beast. At Ard's house, Ard's parents serve Aldhal tea while he tells them that his daughter has been acting distant because of bullying and rumors. At some point, a big group of monsters made up of goblins attacks the town. As Ard's father, Jack, fights off the demons, he tells Ard that the monsters came to the town because of a broken dungeon core. Alhai tells them that Irina went into the mountains earlier that afternoon, and Ard feels bad because he was too nice to her. As Ard flies away, he sees that Irina is surrounded by a group of goblins led by a hobgoblin. Just as Irina has accepted her fate, Ard uses a couple of spells to get rid of the goblins. He then kills the last two goblins and the hobgoblin. In the future, Irina surprises Ard by getting into bed with him and suggesting they go to the Academy of Magic together. Ard and Irina both meet with Gold, the headmaster of the Laville National Academy of Magic. Gold tells them that he is the Academy's headmaster, and that they are the children of national heroes. Later, Ard and Irina walk down a hallway and talk about what their parents have done in the past. As soon as they walk into their classroom, most classmates come up to them and ask to be friends. A small number of other students didn't show the same level of respect, and they saw a noble student pick on a young succubus. Irina steps in, and the bully tells her his name is Elrado and what house he's from. He says the girl is from a home that serves under his, which is why he is bullying her. So by default, she is his servant. Ard steps in and tells him to be fair to the girl and apologize to her. The next day, Olivia starts teaching the class for real and puts the kids into groups. Irina sees the girl alone and asks Ard to let her join them. He agrees. Irina then asks the girl to join them, which she does. The girl says her name is Ginny Finn de Salvin, and she is glad to be there. Olivia tells the students at the site of the class project to go to the third floor of the dungeon and hunt and skin a black wolf. She thinks about Ard's party and asks him if it will be easy for someone like him. Gold, with Olivia, asks Ard to join the student battle where the queen will be present, but Ard says no. Gold tries to convince Ard to change his mind by saying that the event is a chance for the school to get more money. Ard then says he won't do it because it doesn't look good. The next day, Ard, Irina, and Ginny meet Queen Rosa, and it's clear that Irina knows her. Rosa then asks Ard to marry her, but this is turned down, and Ard is then moved up to the Pentagon class. On the other hand, Ard wants his academy's budget to be raised, but the queen is impressed by how humble Ard is, so she gives Ard and Irina both a title and a budget, and puts them in charge of the queen's shadow. The triangle class is also given to Ginny. In the meantime, more cloaked figures talk about how their last attack on Ard failed, but they are sure they will still reach their real goal. After that, Ard is confronted by a very angry Sliffy, who wants to know why he was reborn and where Lydia is. Irina steps in and offers to fight in place of Ard. When Sliffy sees Lydia in Irina, he asks who she is. Irina tells him that Lydia is Ard's friend. On the tournament day, Ard, Irina, and Olivia are introduced as the most likely winners, which makes Sliffy sad. Ard and the others eventually make it to the finals, and Ard complains that he can't hold back because Olivia would think he was trying to lose on purpose. Irina, Sliffy, and Ard watch Ginny's match from the stands. They see her easily beat her opponent and win the match. Irina is asked to help at the cafe after the game. The next day, they are taken to a city, where Olivia asks Ard to join her group to help deal with the demons in the outer force. Before he agrees to Olivia's plan, Ard wants Irina and Ginny to join as well, and he wants them to join the Verda forces. Even though she doesn't like that condition, Olivia agrees with Ard's reasoning and lets them join Verda's side. Ard and Olivia fight in a rocky desert area until it darkens. There wasn't a clear winner, so they both agreed and they were good. Before Ard could leave, Lydia stopped him and asked him and the others to join her on the front lines. In exchange for agreeing to do what Lydia wants, he asks to talk to Varvatos. Lydia tells him he'll have something to do big to earn Varvatos' trust before he can speak to him. Ginny takes a bath, and soon Lydia, who adores her, joins her. Latima, one of Lydia's guests, comes to see Ard and tells him that he and his friends will stay in the villa for the time being. And thanks to her, she then thinks about how in a past life, he killed Lydia and heard Ginny and Lydia talking in the bath. Ard's group is eventually taken to Varvatos' castle on a wagon, and Ginny and Irina are shocked and amazed by how it looks. Lydia and Sliffy lead them inside the castle until a fireball is shot at them and stops them for a moment. Ard quickly steps in to protect the group from the fireball, and Alvarto shows up to say sorry for his rude behavior. Lydia goes up to Alvarto and tries to start a fight with him, but Varvatos stops her. He asks Alvarto to leave, and Alvarto does. On the day of the war, the armies of the Demon Lord and Varvatos fight each other. Ard tells Disaster Rogue that he won't help him save Lydia, because that's not what she wants. After Ard's answer made them laugh, they fought each other, but were on the same level. But Disaster Rogue has a trick that could turn the situation around in his favor. Irina and Ginny were both sad that Arn had to leave them again so that he could fight on the battlefield. Soon, Latima comes up to them with an important message from Ard. She tells them that Ard wants them to leave the house immediately. Eventually, Latima leads them through a forest. She says that their leaving is part of a plan that Ard made. On the battlefield, Varvatos hears that the Demon Lord has been killed. He then tells his army that they have won and that the Demon Lord has been killed. Lydia then comes to talk to Varvatos. She tells him that Ard and his friends have gone home and left it at that. In the final scene, Ard meets the god again in the white dimensional void. God thanks Ard for getting rid of the anomaly. But Ard asks who he is and says he hopes he never has to see him again. The god tells Ard he is his friend and their feelings are the same. Back in their time, Ard, Irina, and Ginny are woken up by Olivia and Sliffy, who tell them that they have reached King's Glaive, where they were going. Ard notices that the hairpins Lydia gave the two girls are still in their hair. Irina then tells Ard what Lydia said. An apparition of Lydia pushes Ard forward to follow the girls as they look around the area.